All right, time for 5 more metal albums from the 2000s. First one I have here is Hammers of Misfortune. It's a double album, Fields and Church of Broken Glass. So this is a metal band from San Francisco, and they put out 6 albums between 2001 and 2016. They went on hiatus for several years. Maybe not hiatus, but they didn't do much. And have returned in 2022 with a new album, and that is called Overtaker. And I like that one, but the one before their hiatus, um, Dead Revolution in 2016, I thought that was much better than the one they just came out with. But anyways, how do you describe them? A unique mixture of all the genres of the early metal family tree, up to maybe like more extreme thrash. It's not really an extreme metal release. The weird thing about this, to me, is that this was their one and only release on Profound Lore Records, and that is probably my favorite record label. However, I think this is probably the weakest Hammers of Misfortune material. And I don't think I'm the only one, because I don't hear people bring this album out much. But I saw them on tour one time. That was for 17th Street when they were touring for that album. That was a pretty good show. I guess my only complaint musically about them is that the vocals are definitely an acquired taste. It's male and female vocals, both. Probably more male, but both are very represented. And I think they're both very acquired tastes. Sometimes the pitch I'm not into, but overall I think Hammers of Misfortune are a very unique, very talented band. Cable, Skyhorse Jams. This is an American band formed in 1994, and they put out quite a few releases. The one that sticks out to me is an album called, I think it's called Pigs Never Fly. I remember seeing that in the metal magazines back in the day. But this came out in 2001 on This Dark Rain Recordings. Again, it's a 5-song EP. Definitely a mixture of metal and sludge. But my favorite song here is the opener, Whiskey Drinking Woman. And it sounds like the song title. It's definitely a more southern influenced, sludgy rock song. But cool band. Darkane. This is Demonic Art. Darkane are a Swedish metal band that formed in 1998, and their style is definitely a melodic death thrash mixture. And this is their 5th of 7 albums. It came out in 2009, and I can't really say I'm into it that much. Their debut album, I think, came out in like 98. It was called Rusted Angel. I hear amazing things about that. I gave it a shot. It wasn't for me either. I still find it very interesting. Kind of one tone. It's just not my style. Okay, this is Saros. Acrid Plains. So this one, well, this band formed in San Francisco, and they existed between 2004 and 2010. This is their second and final full-length album that came out in 2009. So I was having trouble putting my finger on what to call this, so I looked them up on Metal Archives, and they were labeled as a black and progressive death thrash band. And kind of a mouthful, but I think that's pretty accurate. And it's well done, but I like it, I don't love it. This is a 3 out of 5 to me. Finally, Confrontation by Soylent Green. Soylent Green are a grind meets sludge band, but they definitely have a kind of a schizophrenic style of every 30 seconds seemingly just jump into like another style of metal. But they never get weird. They never bring in electronics. It's definitely bass, drums, guitar, vocal, metal. That again is Very southern. The band's from New Orleans. Very grindy. This is their 4th of 5 albums. It came out in 2005. And their second full-length album, Someone Mel's Secrets, that came out in the late 90s. And I think that was the most highly regarded album. And from the material that I've heard, probably their best stuff. I looked at a couple sources. It says that these guys have not broken up, but they have not put out a full-length album since 2008. If you didn't know, the vocalist of this band, Ben, is the vocalist for Goatwhore, who are a very active band, always putting out material, always on tour. And even though I've never been a huge Goatwhore guy, I saw them live once opening for, might have been Satyricon, and they put on a great show, I got to admit. And but my point is that he's definitely busy with that band more so than Soylent Green. So there we go. 5 albums from the 2000s. See you on the next one.